Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Talia and today we are going to go over the Sephora Pro Palettes. I have all three in front of me, so we're going to talk about whether or not these palettes are dope, or are they, was it even worth the hype to even buy these, or are they just straight up whack? So I know that everybody on the internet has given their opinion, but that opinion isn't mine. So therefore, if you want to know my opinion and hear what I have to say about it, keep on watching. So these palettes came out around July 4th, I want to say, and they were, at least I saw it for the very first time on Instagram. Oh, this palette was compared to Natasha Denona palette and the Warm palette. That's the only palette that I saw initially. These palettes were released on July 4th. I saw these palettes for the very first time, or at least the Warm palette for the very first time on Instagram, and I was like, oh, very nice. But it was another Warm palette because that's the first one that I saw, and I was like, okay, yeah, oh, we'll see. And it was compared to the Natasha Denona palette. So they were released around July 4th. I purchased the Warm palette and the Editorial palette around July 6th. So that was 2 days later, and I was actually shocked that I was able to purchase these palettes without them being sold out. I knew for a fact that at least the Warm palette was going to be sold out. So I was like, okay, let's get these two. And I wasn't really interested in the Cool palette because, one, I'm brown and I have warm undertones, and I just knew for damn sure that the Cool palette was just not going to work for me, and I wasn't going to put any use out of it, because I have enough palettes for my makeup kit when I go out on the job. So I didn't think that I needed to get a Cool palette. But my OCD got me nice and good, because once I got the other two, I was like, okay, but this set is not complete, so I need the third one. So I ended up buying the Cool palette in store, and it was the only. Did they have any other? No, I think the Cool palette was the only palette available when I went inside of the Sephora store. And when I purchased it, I had went to the food court, sat with my girls, and I opened it up, and it was broken. And I was like, thank God I didn't leave the mall. So I was able to go back into Sephora and exchange it for another one, and they opened it up to make sure that that one was pretty good. But Sephora has ultimately very good customer service. I never had any issues. Shipping for the first two, I didn't have any problems with the shipping as well. I ordered my palettes on the 6th. I ended up receiving it on the 11th. Because I am a VIB Rouge member, the shipping takes about 3. I don't know why it says 3 days, because it doesn't. I think that the initial shipping is within that 3 days, but then you have to wait a whole nother 3 to 5 days before you get your actual product. It's kind of deceiving, because it makes you like, oh, let me spend all this money, and then I'm gonna end up getting, it is you get free shipping, but I could have sworn it's like 2 day shipping. When you tell me 2 day shipping, that means I'm gonna get my product in 2 days, and that is not the case. But anywho, that was a rant. Like I said earlier, these palettes were supposed to be a dupe for the Natasha Denona palettes, which are extremely expensive. I want to say the very first palette for Natasha Denona that I've seen, it was like maybe $230 for a palette. Like, who? Another little short rant. My thing is this: I love makeup, I truly do, but for me to spend $200 and plus on some eyeshadow, like, what's it made out of? What's in it? What's it gonna do? Is it going to walk and like do my laundry? Is it gonna do something phenomenal? Like, get me to understand. Let's cost $68, and they contain 28 eyeshadows, which breaks it down to $2.43 at eyeshadow. So $68 is a very good price point, at least coming from a person who has paid $10 for a shadow or whatever. And sometimes those shadows ain't worth a damn, but these are very good quality. All three palettes have 28 shades, which contains 0.04 ounces in each shadow, and which is compared to, I guess if you want to compare it to an eyeshadow, a MAC eyeshadow contains 0.05 ounces, and a Anastasia Beverly Hills contains 0.59 ounces of product in their individual eyeshadow pans. So you're getting a little less, but for $2.43 each shadow, that's not too bad. So in the Sephora Pro palette, in the Sephora Pro palette collection, you have three. So you have your warm palette, which contains all the warm shades, the coppers and the burnt oranges, blacks, and golden shades. Very nice. And you have the cool palette that has your mauve shades, your mauve. Instead of my camera and my ring light. You have your pinks and your mauve shades. And for the editorial, and you'll see it yourself. And for the editorial palette, you see all this fallout? Like, look at all this. You have all your bright colored shades. I mean, you can see. You can't even see me. So each palette comes with these inserts, right? Let's talk about these real quick. So they have the name. This is from the editorial palette. So there's an insert that has all the names on it. I hate these. Like, every time I order a palette that comes with these kind of protectant shields or whatever, I toss them out because they're annoying. Like, this little piece of plastic is not going to protect this eyeshadow palette from breaking. If I drop my kit, if I just drop it, this ain't gonna protect nothing. It isn't. So I'm like, why insert this? I personally don't get it. But nonetheless, the eyeshadow names are listed on this, and they're also listed on the boxes. I don't keep those either. So I'm forced to hold on to the plastic foolery. You know what I'm saying? I might tape. No, I don't want to tape it anywhere. Like, where would I tape it? Yeah, I have to keep this. I'm trying to think of ways of avoiding dealing with this, but really I can't. So I'm not going to keep the boxes. I do have them. They're not near me. But I'm forced to keep that annoying piece of plastic. So each palette has its own little individual color. This one has the kind of dual chrome bluish color to indicate this is the editorial. You have the silver one for the cool, and the gold for the warm. And also each palette came with a tutorial insert as well on how to, you know, create different looks, how to apply them, or whatever have you. I don't know. I might keep one or keep them just to create the looks that are in this palette. They might work for me. They might not. And this, I think, which one is this? I think this one's from the cool palette. Yeah. So I might try it. But if you don't know how to apply eyeshadow, this is beneficial to help you apply them. These palettes are very sturdy. They're heavy duty. So these are perfect for your kits. These are perfect for your everyday individual use. These palettes were created by Sephora Pro artists. And so some of the names are, you can tell, but they're named after, I guess, the pro artists that helped create these. So those are the ones that are responsible for these. I don't understand why they would make these limited edition. I feel like these palettes are needed for their whole Sephora collection. Like, you need to have good solid, you know, palettes or whatever that people can constantly be able to purchase. Currently, when I had checked on the Sephora app, the warm and the editorial palettes were not available. The only one that was available was the cool palette. That is clearly not the fan favorite, because even when I was on YouTube trying to see if I can find swatches of the palette, I just couldn't. So I did create looks using all three palettes, and so if you haven't seen those videos, I will leave those links down in the description box so you can check to see how I use them and how I made them work for me. Do I feel like these palettes are worth the $68? Abso-freaking-lutely. The one thing I will say, they have a few shades, like I don't know what was going on when they were trying to create the kind of glittery metallic shades. Some of them were a little chunky, and that was in all of the palettes. I'm going to insert the swatches. Oh Lord. It was just itchy. I'm going to insert the swatches so you'll be able to see how I swatched them and how those particular shades applied. All of the matte shades are highly pigmented. The application is very smooth. I didn't have any issues there. And like I said before, it's those kind of glittery metallic shades. It was like, well, what were you going to do with that? And there were like maybe one or two out of the palettes that I feel like didn't work well or just not swatching well, and that's using a brush and a finger actually. So, but you'll be able to see those swatches towards the end of the video. But I do highly recommend them if you are a makeup artist. Yes, you won't need to carry nothing else. I think these would be ideal. Me personally, the editorial and the warm palettes are from moi. The cool palette would definitely go. It's going in my kit, and that's only because, you know, it's just not gonna work for me all the time. But it's not a terrible palette. I think it's an actual very nice palette for people of lighter skin tones, at least in my personal opinion. My favorite one, like everybody else's, it's this baby right here. I have put a dent in this palette already. Okay. So if you're interested in seeing how these beautiful palettes apply, keep on watching for the swatching. At first I was going to record swatching each individual shadow, but this video is going to be entirely too long. So I decided just to show you guys each row from each palette. So I hope you enjoy it. I highly recommend these palettes. Please go check out your nearest Sephora or go to Sephora.com and purchase you one or all three. And thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to follow me on all my social media, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!